as English teachers or English teaching professionals, that it's possible to effectively teach or learn English through an online sort of video conferencing platform such as Skype. What is remote teaching? I define it as basically it's virtual face-to-face teaching. Quite simply, you're teaching your students or your students are interacting with you face-to-face, but virtually, meaning that your physical body is not present, but you are actually interacting with them. Plan it's a project that the British Council is working with partners in Uruguay. How many children do we think that we're teaching every week through remote teaching? And we're talking only 9 to 11-year-olds. 80,000 students aged 9 to 11. That's about 3,500 classes a week. It's currently around 550 primary schools, okay, using this program. Well, the first question you might ask yourself is, why? I mean, why on earth would you video conference lessons to 80,000 kids when you can just maybe teach them face to face? Quite simply, they don't have enough English teachers in Uruguay. It's that simple, they just don't have them. And they don't have enough trained teachers. It's training the teachers at the same time as the actual learners. How does this work? Okay, this is the key here. You see the remote teacher and the local classroom teacher here. Their relationship is absolutely critical to the success of this project. The children have 3 English lessons a week. Lesson A, the first one of the week, is delivered by the remote teacher. And in order to help the local teacher understand what's going on, the lesson plans are very carefully scripted and they're written in Spanish, and translated, so that the local teacher can follow exactly what is happening in the lesson and they can understand everything. And the role of the classroom teacher here is to help organize the class, help manage the class, and also to learn the language themselves, because the next 2 lessons, they're doing the teaching. So lessons B and C, no remote teacher. The actual classroom teacher is practicing the language with the students. And how do they do that when, they're beginners or they're learning as well? They do that because between lesson A and lesson B, not only do they have a really well-scripted lesson plan, but they coordinate or liaise with their remote teacher. So they talk to them and the remote teacher helps them to practice the language so that they feel confident to then do the practice lessons. We're teaching into Uruguay from 3 other countries apart from Uruguay, because it's a huge project. We're teaching over 1,000 lessons a week just from Argentina, from Buenos Aires. Not only is it working, the kids love it. He's actually teaching teacher trainers, or he's training teacher trainers in Iraq. These teacher trainers were then going on to teach and train Syrian and Iraqi refugees. Teachers come home at night and they join a class from their home. And each of them can see each other's faces on the screen. I'll show you later. And it's fantastic. Some interesting classroom management realities. Some fascinating things have happened. You've got several mothers with babies on their laps in the lesson. Now, how inclusive is that? I was asked to talk a little bit about what I thought about the future of remote teaching. I think we all know that anytime, anywhere learning is going to be increasingly accepted. I believe you're going to see a huge growth in remote learning, especially for busy professionals. Also, hardware is going to become more affordable. We know that prices go down as technology improves. Here's an example of my daily life. These are all British Council colleagues. Graham, he's based in Uruguay. There's me in Argentina. Tom, he's based in Chile. Hannah, Spain. Frank, Czech Republic. And Pablo, he's also with me in Argentina. we use it all the time. I'm constantly talking to colleagues across the world all of the time. It's part of my role. And the quality of the interaction is just as good, as far as I'm concerned, as if I'm seeing them face to face. I want us, this is the last session of the day, to think about one thing that you've gained from this conference and that you're going to take away and do something with.
And yes, I would like to share all the information because that's the thing that teachers should do. Share materials, share information, and everything to help others.
After sharing it, though, we've got to make sure we act on it. It's one thing sharing, it's another thing doing.
Seeing like all the possibilities that you can achieve by teaching, I think that's pretty inspiring. So I'm taking inspiration and motivation to keep going forward.
Gained inspiration and motivation to keep moving forward, to keep learning, to keep developing as an ELT professional. What we're going to do we're going to start with Cain, okay? Cain, can you hear me okay? Yeah? Tell us one concrete thing that you've learnt as a result of being at this conference that you're going to take away and do something with when you leave.
Well, that's a very simple answer. Drama.
I think the plenaries were so thought-provoking and they were so inspiring, even coaching. There was lots of learning from very experienced teachers, very experienced speakers.
I would say that I love the topics that were based on inclusion, equity, acceptance, and being aware of the differences, creating a culture of acceptance by tackling stereotypes where the values that both cultures, the British and the Mexicans, are always trying to promote.
Can you see the ability you have to interact, to talk to one another, share your learning with your other teachers, with your colleagues? If Nick's using it in Gaza, we're using it in Iraq, you can use it anywhere across Mexico, anywhere you like, really. It's over to you. So thank you.